a huge game. The biggest ever played in the United States, I venture to say. Here's Rodriguez now for as they look to keep their string of
juniors when they tried to counter-attack. They lost possession in the forward part as they were going forward, and they were sticking it right back in the corner.
This is Carthage Jail, where the prophet was killed. This star above the window on the side of the building, we've learned, is attached to the end of metal rods that go completely through the building to anchor the walls to keep them from falling outward. And that was the way they kept the buildings stable in those days.
Here we are in Carthage Jail. This is the window where the prophet Joseph Smith, as he was shot, fell out of. This is the room that they were in when the mob came and attacked them.
He had to get used to blue contact.
Okay, wait. You can point to it. Okay, now what is it?
I want to watch the movie again.
Where was it? Right above the lock.
And what?
This is the first one.
The first
This is the one that struck Hiram in the chest.
In the face.
In the face.
Face? That's right, face, because it killed him outright then.
Why does it keep going out of focus?
Because it's too dark.
He was such a tall man that he was well, let's see.
Now it's going to start. Okay. Okay, this is how they came up, is they came to get Joseph and Hiram.
They started firing at them. First bullet went through here. They closed the door.
Are you waiting for us?
We're trying to hold it from the inside. That's where
The
they
lady
fired.
needs to go to the restroom, and I've got going about the restroom, but I'm...
Well, he's... I know.
This is kind of this
She's waiting for us, so...
is where they fired the shot through the door that hit Hiram.
Okay, and then this is the dungeon, and it's black, and you can't see anything.
This is the dungeon.
Too dark. Anyway, that's the room, right in there.
Okay. We need to go because we're keeping these people open.
No, it's the lady. This is the outside of Carthage Jail, where we just showed you where we were. This is the window from where the prophet fell after he was shot. That's where I'm at. Landing here, of course, before there was pavement. And that's the well there?
The well, she said.
That's the well, she said.
Well.
Oh, well. And then we'll walk over here. What's this?
Oh, just a little
Oh, this is a plaque commemorating Joseph Smith. 38 years old when he was killed. He sealed his testimony with his blood. There was quite a neat feeling, but yet neat isn't really the word. Eerie feeling, I guess, as we stood there in the same place on the same floor as Joseph stood. Quite a feeling there.
While you're shooting those,
Uh-huh.
take a picture of that hibiscus.
Oh, I got
The hibiscus.
Oh. I like this color right there.
Show Brent. Tell him. Said, look, we took a special one and there's a flower even on it.
It's going to be marked with a flower.
Aaron freaked out one time when on my video camera. Aaron saw a golfer on there because it shows the different shutter speeds. Like yours has a runner, mine has a golfer.
Oh,
And he
boy.
He was all excited because showing Ron that there was a.
I can't find this in black. Oh, there it is. Such pretty flowers, though. They really are. Look at those. Look like almost red velvet.
She wore blue.
No, red.
Well.
Oh, yeah.
Paul Harvey? Paul Harvey. I got 2 pictures of how you're.
What?
Oh, it's
Calm down. Pouring.
Hurry, get out there.
It is like pouring. Oh, it's calming down now. Here we are, right outside our room.
This isn't bad now.
No, this is calmed down.
Okay, go out there a little further.
No! I'm not going out there any further.
Here, you go out there and I'll get a
No,
picture.
you go out there. I'll take a picture of you. It's running, Russ.
Okay, go out there.
No, Russell. I'm not going out there.
Yeah, I'm going to go out there.
I'm not. Look at, get up by the light. You can see it in the wind better. Wow,
My legs are getting wet.
Oh, get them lightning.
Oh,
Woo, baby! Are you filming?
yes, I'm still filming.
Don't get my camera wet.
Gosh, dang. You can't go anywhere without getting wet.
Don't get the camera wet, Russell.
Oh, go. You want me to get it? Don't get it wet or go get it wet?
Don't get my camera wet.
Oh,
Here we go.
that was great. I'm getting soaked. That was pretty cool. How the wind shifts into where it's getting them.
It was like flooding big time.
I'll get a picture of that sheet coming down.
That's like scared.
That was cool.
No, it's not. Oh, I like it. It's scary.
What's the 5700K on it for?
Because the light. What's that now?
F lit.
What do you want?
I don't know. What do you mean what do I want?
What's
B
that?
lit. Oh wait, that B lit looks pretty good.
Okay, take some with that.
Wow.
Do that. That's the backlit.
Oh, backlight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can.
Well, look at videotape some more with that one. Probably not time for another light in the corner. Look at that heat right now. Oh my gosh. Look at the heat coming down the...
Whoa.
Look at that solid.
Having a hard time. There we go.
So if we're in Niagara Falls on the other side of it.
Yeah, just think now you guys don't have to go to New York.
Done that. Been here, done that.
There's my van. Or our van.
Now it's clean.
Yeah. Got all the bugs off the front of it.
Look at the people trying to get in.
I want some more lightning.
It'll happen.
Sliding into the south. Ooly, ooly, up a girl.
You are the wind. You're getting my camera wet.
Okay.
It's changing wind here.
Someone's passing wind.
I hope you're not taping.
No, I'm
The
not.
red light says he is.
Okay.
Got that message.
Well, this thing does zoom in quite a bit.
Yeah. What are you on, backlit?
I'm still on backlit.
You're
Well, now I'm
front
on
lit.
F-lit.
Front lit. And that's twilight. And then it does the monotone is the next thing. It'll turn it
Monotone?
like an old-time movie, brown and white. It'll all be brown and white.
Oh, well, yeah, I could tell that in here.
You can't. Play like I'm Brent. Okay.
That's pretty cool, monotone. Well, I mean, I can't
Doesn't
see
show gray
it,
hair
but
that way.
Monochrome or monotone?
It says monotone, doesn't it?
monotone.
Thank you. My feet are wet. Feel them. Feel them.
Oh, I don't.
See, look, now you can tell which one is the best. That's monotone, twilight, F-light,
Front
front
lit.
light, backlight,
Turn on the heater.
portrait, oh gosh, sports.
That door's opening again.
I don't know what this one is. It's nothing.
Well, let's take it off of me. Or turn it off.
Oh, it just says off.
You know what else it does? It cuts it so it's like this big. You know? Like this big.
CinemaScope.
CinemaScope.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, so that you make it like a movie. So this, like this big.
Like if you're, so you can cut off their feet and their forehead.
This much. Get this much right here. Guess who this is? These are our home movies. We don't go to a motel very often because we don't know how to act.
We lost our picture.
Uh-oh.
The cable's out.
Cable's out.
They must have the same company we have.
Attention bikers. Oh.
All kinds of
Attention, bikers.
Tampax. I am cold.
Weather update, turn it back.
Yeah.
traffic stop, but it ended with
Oh, no wonder you got a
How come we're having problems focusing?
Sometimes it goes like
Maybe
that.
because it's on twilight, F-lit.
Why from college? Something wrong?
No, I decided to come and see you.
Mostly semi-automatic. From there, police say it was just a shootout. The police officer was rushed to an area hospital and is reported in critical condition.
Yeah, where's this at?
Homicide detectives took flying low on a hill today looking for the weapon used to kill 61-year-old Frank Marino Saturday. He was shot to death outside his restaurant.
What do you keep doing?
Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh. Well, I was trying to count. I thought I saw some lightning out there. Well, I saw some lightning. You have to count. See? I lost count.
It's probably just, yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't have a VCR, we can watch it.
Take it along.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll just plug one in and...
You like ride? Well, riding outside a helicopter on a skid.
It's so nice to have somebody else making the video.
Squad got today in the
Don't take me anymore.
Firefighters do repelling drills like this about once a year to keep their skills fresh.
Cool.
Repel on a regular basis, but need to have the know-how for repelling off the roof of
Oh, man.
a fire.
How you turn this off?
It is dangerous, but there
Power up on top, the blue or the black button.
Got it. That looks cool.
You want to talk? Okay. Oh, well, I'll turn it off for a minute while you do this. This is downtown Main Street, Nauvoo. Notice the old buildings on the side of the road.
Better hope they never have an earthquake here, because none of this will stand.
There isn't much to this town, just what you see here, and as you can see way out in the distance, the Mississippi River. And as you can see, it's 2:34 and 92 degrees and very humid.
Where did they say they were going? I thought they were going right here.
That's what we're saying.
Or, there they are over at the corner. Are they waiting for us?
Maybe.
This is one of the plots of Willard Richards at the corner street of White and Partridge. It goes all the way over there. It's about a 1 acre lot. Blank lot right here, whatever it is. And there's the view. This is the southeast corner of White and Partridge. Okay.
Russ is filming, I'm narrating. We're now at the corner of Munson and Durfee, and we're looking at some of the old property lots that were mapped out for us on my relatives. And down the road is the grave site of Janetta Richards, who was the wife of Willard Richards, where that yellow triangular sign is there that you can see on the left down there, just past that on the left, in the shade of that bush is where her grave site was. And that's where she's buried. And as you come down the street here, and you turn on to Munson, on the southeast corner, according to the land records and deeds, what is now a park is a 16-acre parcel of land that was once owned by Phineas Richards. And as near as we can tell, this land, the 16-acre parcel, would cover about where that blue car is coming in over there, up to where it's turning and going up behind that brown house, and where this brown car is going over, we are guessing would be about the equivalency of the property that he owned. As the lots were laid out in 4-acre lots,
Probably goes down to about where that brown sign is, all the way down there.
4 lots to a block. So in a block there was 16 acres in a block, and he owned the entire 16-acre block, according to the information we were given at the visitor center. And as far as we can tell, that would be this beautiful piece of land that you see here that is now a park here in Nauvoo.
Alrighty.
We're still on our search for property owned by relatives, and here we are at the corner of Water and Bain, and where you see this red brick house here in the background underneath this beautiful tree, this acre lot right here on the corner, I guess it would be the northwest corner of Bain and Water, is where Willard Richards owned another acre of property. And in coincidence, it happened to be right across the street from the original foundation of the building where the Times and Season newspaper was printed from 1839 to 1841. And here you can see the actual foundation of that building and really how small it was. Not very big.
Probably about 20 by 20 maybe?
Yeah. And that this was where the Times and Season newspaper was printed. This property is now owned by the Reorganized Church, as you can see by the sign here on the property itself.
You want to give them how close this is to the
And
water?
This street that we're on here, which runs east to west in Nauvoo, is called Water Street, and you can see why it was appropriately named so, as this is part of what is now a refuge here on the Mississippi River, but that is the Mississippi River that you can see there. Looks kind of like a swamp with the logs and the mossy water there and that. That is how close the Mississippi River is to some of these homes. Now we hope to be able to continue on down this road and find some other property, but we were told by the lady who plotted this on a map for us that some of the properties that our relatives own may now well be underneath the Mississippi River, since the river is up higher than what it originally was back then. And so we'll do our best to try and find that property, but we are right here on the river, and this is the Nauvoo Wildlife Refuge here on the river at Nauvoo. You can see in the background back there a large barge coming down the Mississippi, and occasionally you might see some geese flying in and out of the picture. That's because there are a lot of them, Canadian honkers and snow geese here in the refuge. But that should do it for right now. We'll try and find some more property.
Here we are at the Sarah Granger Campbell home. Now this is the home, one of the two homes, I guess, that was here before the Saints arrived. One of the nicer homes in the community of Nauvoo. And this is where, not where it was formed or organized. As we know, the Relief Society was organized up in the upper room of the red brick storehouse, but this is where they held most of the meetings of the Relief Society. And this is the front door of the house as they would come. Emma Smith, who was the first president of the Relief Society, and all the sisters would meet here in this home because it was one of the nicer homes in the area. See, there's a field of corn over there right now. We went inside the home and saw how beautiful it was and could see why they chose this home to meet in.
I'd like to know whether they have one scene of the temple.
This is the inside of the Sarah Granger home, Campbell home, where they held the meetings.
Is there a road down below here that goes along?
No, that road's been taken out there. It used to go all the way along. That's what I figured. But you only pick it up here in the main.
They live in that house that we went by. Felt like mayflies all over it.
Kidding.
Remember we were saying
Who would live in
Okay. In our quest for further locations of relatives' property, we came out here and found this home which belonged to Sarah Granger Campbell, who they have restored the home. This is the original home, and it was lived in and has been occupied ever since it was built in 1833. It's very deceiving. There's 2 stories to the home, and anyway, it sits out here, and we were looking for this one particular piece of property that Willard Richards owned, and I don't know if you can tell by this map, but we're looking out here at lot 10, and we've been told that lot number 9 on this map is the Sarah Granger Campbell home, which means that if we follow this around this way, that this section of property right here is probably that section of property that was owned by Willard Richards. And from the information we were able to gather here, and from what you can see on this map, Willard Richards owned property lots marked in red, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different lots, individual lots of property in 1-acre parcels, and some as much as half-acre, maybe 3/4 acre parcels. But one of our relatives, Franklin D. Richards, owned part of the property that Brigham Young built his home on, that we showed you earlier when we were in it yesterday videotaping Brigham Young's house. So this has been a very interesting time for us in looking up these properties here in Old Nauvoo the way they were laid out. But if we're right, Willard Richards almost had waterfront property here in Nauvoo, as you can see how close the river is there. In fact, he did have waterfront property from the lot that we showed you over there on Bain and Waters across from the Time and Seasons. That was this lot here. The other lot he really had waterfront property on, because as near as we can estimate, that is now completely underwater. So he really owned waterfront property. But it's been very interesting here. We've met a lot of people and talked with a lot of people who knew other relatives and friends of ours. In fact, Mom and Dad, you'll be interested to know that Sarah Granger Campbell, once she moved from here and went west to Salt Lake, settled in the Salt Lake Valley, she lived in the 15th Riverside Ward, and did until she died there at the age of 80 years old.
Relief Society president for...
And was the Relief Society president of the church when she died, I believe in 1888 or 1890. So maybe it's possible that Grandma Earnshaw even knew her, because I knew she was alive at that time. And that about does it for this section of the property. You can see, by the way, since we're here, all these homes here have been restored by the church, and the missionary couples that live here not only serve as narrators and guides inside these facilities, but they all grow gardens, and they grow their own vegetables and are responsible for the vegetables and fruits that are grown on the properties here. And that's what they live off of, many of them, the missionary couples here in Nauvoo today. And this is their garden. As you can see, they have zucchini growing, they have cantaloupe growing, they have fruit trees here, tippin apples, look like Jonathan's over there. You can see the apples back there on that one tree that are pretty large and ripe. But it's been very interesting.
We just got to Niagara Falls. Look at all the water.
We are here, Niagara Falls.
Look how fast it's going.
That right out there is U.S. Falls.
I bet that's really deep too, huh?
The observation tower across the way is in Canada, on that side of the bridge. are again. Different views.
Same one, no,
The
different
river
water.
coming down to the U.S. side of the falls. A little bit different perspective. As Gail pans to the right, you can see the observation point out at the point of Niagara Falls out there on the U.S. side. By the way, this is Wednesday, the 3rd of August.
1994,
We're here in Buffalo, New York.
Niagara Falls, New York. Niagara Falls, New York.
This is the American Falls here on the near side, and you can barely see the Canadian Horseshoe Falls back in the corner back there through the mist of the water.
How weird that water looks. It's just like falling over that edge.
There they go, all in their rain gear, up to the falls.
I am not ever going to go like
Canadian
this.
boat, flying the Canadian flag, all wearing their blue rubbers so that they don't get soaked as they head up underneath the falls. Can you see that boat in the camera that's up under the, see, you can, in the midst up there? Can you see that? Right over the top of the edge of the falls. See it there in the mist? Focus the camera right on. See, it's starting to come out now. Right on the dark ledge there of the top of the fall as it goes over. There's a boat there underneath the mist. Look at this. It's a good shot too right now with the mist coming across it.
Why should this place be any different? Observation towers actually out over the river, as the Niagara River as it comes down from the falls. Gail's now photographing the American Falls side, and as you hopefully can see through the barred cage here, you can see how this big island out here is called Goat Island, out in the middle, the big one. These littler islands are called Robinson Island, Bird Island, Green Island, and Laura Island, Atlanta Island. And the one separate little falls there, Yeah.
See on the other side of the observation platform?
Yeah.
That's called Bridal Fall.
How cute.
Look at the color of the water coming over the top of the rim. See how blue-green it is over there at the top?
Hard for me to see.
The water is so crystal clear here. Very deep,
Very clean.
very clean.
That's where we were just a minute ago when we were videotaping before. Right down. Where are we? Right down there is where we were. Walking right along there. All of that path.
Of course, this right side over here is the Canadian side, where
There's
the
Canada.
Canadian observation tower is over there. We hope to get up to the top of that, because
Maybe I won't.
you really get a perspective from up there.
Maybe Brent will, but I won't. Let's go on the other side.
Gail doesn't like altitude. Are you there?
Well, there's not a... No, I don't. Well, there's only so much I can do about it.
Right into there. This, right there.
Okay. That showed the sky. Okay.
You might want to pan
Okay.
down so they can see where we came from. This is at the bottom of the tower that we were just up in, and Gail's shooting the American Falls right now.
I don't know how much we're going to be able to get because it's going to get wet.
Because it's getting wet and we don't want to ruin the camera, but you can see all the water coming across there. We'll attempt to move up. Maybe if you put your coat over the top of it.
We'll walk up this walkway here. See what we see. Look at that spray.
Are you filming?
Yeah.
Look at the spray coming up. Amazing how much water comes over here. We were reading a story earlier that in 1848, one day it got deafening quiet here, and the falls actually quit running for approximately 30 hours. And nobody on the Canadian side or the American side could figure out what happened, but they found out later on that it was in the wintertime of 1848, and the ice broke loose on Lake Erie, and when it came down through the Buffalo area, it clogged up the waterway and cut off all the water to the falls. And that's been the only time that anybody's aware of in natural history that the falls actually quit running.
I knew we took it out too early.
You want to get a picture? Show me?
Yeah.
Here we are at the Canadian side looking across Niagara River to the U.S. Falls, American Falls.
And see that building over there? That's where we just were when we were filming
Tower
before.
over on the left with the boat down at the base of it is where we were at the top, and then down on the bottom. The short fall over here to the right of the American Falls, where the yellow people are all dressed up there, is called Bridal Falls. And those people are getting a good drink. What a beautiful view. We hope to be here a little bit later on when they light all these falls up at night. And we're getting ready to move down to the Canadian falls, which are actually called Niagara Falls. That bridge in the distance is the bridge we just drove over, coming from the U.S. to the Canadian side, and vice versa.
See, this is like really Niagara Falls, because this is on the Canada side, on the Canadian side. Oh, man.
water there as it comes over the falls?
I'm just showing in relationship to where these are.
Blue-green?
There's the American Falls, and there's the Niagara Falls on the Canadian side. Oh boy, that's right up there. I'll try to back to this. Maybe it'll show up better this way. This setting.
Get that rock on the screen so the boys can see it.
Look at all that water.
Oh my goodness, I just saw a fish jump down there. Look at the fish. Focus on the rock, behind the rock down there.
Where's the boat? Okay, so I need my frame of reference.
Focus on the water behind the rock and just hold it still there for a second and watch the white swirls appear at the top of the water as the fish feed off the food that comes around those rocks. They're there.
Tell the boys no, that would be a good fishing place.
Well, they know.
But that you already said that.
If periodically just keep focused on there, occasionally you'll see a fish come to the surface. See, like that one that just hit right there? Anyway, that's for my benefit and the boys. Nobody else will probably be interested in that.
There's the Bridal Veil over here. Settings with this because I can't really tell with the lighting the way it is which setting it's going to show it the best. So if you notice that there's changes, that's why.
Yes.
Can you make out what it says on that rock where the people in the yellow are disappearing over there? Into the hillside?
Nope. Kind of can see the boat over there. There's crud down in the water. I don't know what it is. The rest of it's really pretty.
Yeah. Turn that off for a second.
Before we lose the light, just a minute.
We don't know. First time we've ever done it.
Okay, I didn't know.
Nice.
I know my son-in-law's done that, have one, and I know they do it in the house. You know, we know it, and it's real good. I don't know how they put it. Yeah.
We'll try it and see what happens.
That's right, it won't be enough.
Yeah.
You
You can always edit it out.
Tape over it.
That's right. But you can't come back and do it again if it, you know.
Might be surprised. You never know until you try. nightclub, you know, with lights on the waterfall.
I wonder if they put colored spots on.
Oh yeah, they will. They'll come to the red, green.
How often?
About every 5 or 6 minutes, they change.
What? I'm trying to get it, but I don't know if it's going to show. It's red.
This water comes from Lake Ontario, right?
Oh, now it's going to change colors again. I
Erie
guess.
to Ontario.
Now it's turning green, isn't it?
There goes the green.
Ooh, that's pretty, huh?
Showing up at all?
Well, a little bit. It looks like it might be. Won't know until we get home. This is even showing.
There might be another white.
I'm not sure about Yeah, they didn't rain so much off. They run power plants and stuff. They got to treat it fine. So they have to leak that so much water.
Brent,
Right there.
give me the camera real quick before it changes colors. Well, we're in Canada.
We're not sure the name of this city. It's either Niagara, Canada.
It's Niagara Falls, Canada, but it's the province of Ontario. Because it said as we came across the bridge, welcome to Ontario.
It's across the street from Niagara Falls on the U.S. side. And it's nighttime. And there's a ton of people here.
And there's that, what's that thing called up there, that tower?
The Needle, or
Like the Needle.
the Tower, the Canadian Tower. And we're going downtown Clifton Hill in Canada. And there's tourists
And there's just like people everywhere.
It's like being in New York City.
Yeah. And then we came down the street and look at it. It's like Las Vegas or something. I can't believe this. This is just across, well, this is, oh, there's the Guinness Book of World Records place.
Yeah, the 13th one or whatever. As you can see, there's wax shops here and all kinds of paraphernalia and places to spend your money.
This is like Disneyland or something.
Circus World. You can hear the music.
Turn it down. It's like we're...
Canada's effort to garner the U.S. dollar, as well as the foreign dollar from, there's a lot of Europeans here on vacation.
Look at this place, Castle Dracula.
Castle Dracula.
Bunch of people. Yeah.
Believe it or not, museum, movie land, and in the midst of it, you have the Niagara Clifton Motor Inn. This is Niagara here.
This is Niagara Falls, Canada, right?
I don't know. I'm assuming that's it.
People eating outside. Over here.
However, this says Falls Lake Quality here.
So we don't know where we're at.
But we're having a good time.
Wherever we are, this is kind of different. We were expecting to see something like this when we came over here. All we wanted to see was the other side of the falls.
We're beat.
Yep.
Traveled all night long from
We've been
Nauvoo
up for about 48 hours.
Down to Kansas City to catch the plane to come here to Niagara today, and tomorrow we're going to see the rest of the falls and what there is to see here maybe, and then head out to Palmyra and Cumorah and
Oh, see there, it says
See
Niagara
what there
Falls
is to
Marketplace.
see there.
Found something that
I
says,
guess it's Niagara Falls, Canada. Because there's the Niagara Clifton Family Restaurant. So, as you can see, traffic is moving at a snail's pace.
you'd think we were in downtown
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas or something, or New York City or something. This is just bizarre. I've been in Canada before, not this part of Canada, but other parts of Canada, and it was just like a little community. And
Oh boy.
what?
Look at this motorhome pulling out up here.
Oh boy.
T-Rad. Streets are not real wide, and this baby just barely made it coming down the road here. Anyway, so this is the nightlife here in the Canadian side of the border for the Canucks. There's a lot of people over here. Don't know what the prices are like since Canadian money is cheaper than U.S., so maybe you can get some buys here, I don't know.
There's something up there written in Chinese currency exchange, it says.
Yeah. Probably the exchange rate for the Canadian dollar and the Japanese yen. There's people jaywalking and crisscrossing everywhere, so you really got to be careful what you're doing.
It reminds me of being down in the Caribbean. It was so wild, there was like no order to it. Just everyone walks everywhere. Yeah. Did you hear what he said?
No.
See, she's videotaping. I said, yeah, and he said, hi. You're really going to try to turn left, huh?
I just did.
Oh boy, probably.
Four-wheeling in Canada.
Dexter the kinetic robot. Well, wasn't that a treat?
Well, we're going to head back to the hotel.
Where it's
because
nice and quiet. We can go to bed. We are tired.
We're going to have a contest tonight, who snores the loudest.
Yeah, well. Uh-oh, now what are we going to do here?
You just want to turn around and go back out.
Okay, no problem.
Good night. Downtown Niagara Falls in New York. Should I turn this off, he says. Sure. I really wanted to get him. I know. I really wanted to get him on, too.
What does this say? America's largest outdoor pageant is performed here. July 8th, 9th, 12th, and 16th.
Okay.
That's where they do the pageant, right on that hill there. That's the Hill Cumorah, the statue of the Angel Moroni up there commemorating, giving him gold plates to Joseph Smith.
And that's where they do the pageant. That would be neat to see.
Open daily here.
No.
Get that?
Trying.
Beautiful.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Look at all the permanent stands they've built for spotlights. We got it all to ourselves.
Oh, neat. Hope it's like this is a sacred grove. Hold the monument on top of hill.
We're 2180 Moroni, the last our survivor. Beautiful location, nice and green. It's kind of an overcast day though. We're expecting rain later on, so
How beautiful the flowers are.
we need to get done what we're going to get done before it starts pouring. Is that an eagle? Oh, must be a hawk. Okay.
Just a minute, I was... This is the inside of the visitor center at Hill Cumorah.
Now that sits north.
This is the original picture here, or painting. No, that's fine. Everybody knows that knows me knows that I am that way.
I tease all of them.
That's okay.
I tease them, I say, yeah, I said, she's going to keep me working past retirement age. Just to take those pictures.
But you know what? What's interesting is
Just the wedding down there not too
Oh,
long.
were you? That's beautiful.
This has been a very interesting tour that we've been on. And
to write on plates wasn't something that Angel Moroni or Mormon thought up, was it? As you can see, plates have been being written on for many, many years by many, many different groups of people.
that's what we've done. And we've made it on. Yeah. And you see they've got these for all the locations.
Okay. Okay, we're traveling the road from the visitor center up to the top of the Hill Cumorah.
See how beautiful it is here. Green, lush, wild berries growing.
The top of the hill, in case it's windy and you can't hear, is where they estimate the gold plates were buried. The top of the hill and off to the left, they said. So you can see how beautiful this is.
There is no exact spot, of course.
Right.
But we just know that it was on the north side of the Hill Cumorah, and they've erected a statue in commemoration of that place. But what a beautiful spot.
This is 3 miles from the Joseph Smith home where he grew up. So it's not likely that he just happened to cross these plates, as maybe some would have you believe that he just happened to cross them. He was told 4 different times exactly the exact location where these plates were buried, and he knew it when he saw it. And
We're gonna have to park here and get out.
because it had been so perfectly described to him by the angel Moroni.
You don't have to photograph it, but you can get a good view of the overall area from the top of this.
We said this is where they do the Hill Cumorah pageant. Those are the lighting fixtures and so forth that you see there.
They say the bottom of the hill on the other side of the road is where they park all the cars. They set up 5,000 chairs down below here.
7,000.
7,000, excuse me, chairs down below here. And you can see pretty much where they set them up, the aisleways and in the pattern of the
I'm
lawn.
sure that represents the natural look of the hill as it, with the wooded area and stuff as Joseph came to the top of the hill, right? That's how it was.
I would assume so, yes, because that's the way it is now. Just like it is out in the entire valley out there. In fact,
You might be able to see
that could be the Joseph Smith farmhouse right over there.
it's 3 miles, and that's about right, huh?
Or right down here, one or the other, because there's the road. You see the road that we're supposed to take over and across?
Yeah.
And I
And that
believe
could be
that
the
either
Sacred Grove right out there.
That very well could be the Sacred Grove over there from the Hill Cumorah. But I think that's his farmhouse over here, dear. Where the white silo is, in that white house over there.
Yeah, I turned it off now. This is what it probably looked like as Joseph climbed the hill to get to the top, to get to the place designated by the angel Moroni, is where the gold plates would be buried. Let's go. Okay, this is the Joseph Smith home,
Frame home.
And across the road here now, Brent and I are going to walk the footpath to the Sacred Grove. Sacred Grove is an important historic site for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. At this site began the restoration of the gospel of Jesus Christ. It is a sacred place where God has communicated with man. God told the prophet Moses on Mount Horeb, "The place whereon thou standest is holy ground." Because God the Father and his Son Jesus Christ appeared to Joseph Smith in the Sacred Grove, we feel that this too is holy ground. Please show reverence while visiting the grove, speak in subdued tones, and enjoy the quiet spirit which exists here. Take the time to meditate and consider the vision the prophet Joseph Smith experienced here in the spring of 1820. Benches are placed in various locations throughout the grove for your convenience.
sign said that this is sacred ground. You look through the trees, you kind of gain an appreciation for
No,
the natural.
I don't think there was this big path there when he wandered into the grove of trees. He went to the spot and knelt and prayed.
That what these trails are for?
Yeah.
Did you go look to see what we found over there?
Mm-mm.
That would be pretty in there too. You need to come in almost at noonday instead of 4 in the
A
afternoon
while ago it was shining.
when the sun's high overhead.
I wonder what's down that path.
That thing right above my head.
No, Brent.
People carve their initials on trees.
It's beautiful.
What's today on Wednesday?
Mm-hmm. How tall the trees are. Way up there.
Is this the last tape you have? Did you have one other besides this? I wonder how he knew by what trees grew in the area, how fertile the land was. I guess that it had trees that had a deep root
system.
He knew
Put that
it
out
was
there. How pretty.
good land.
Well, you can see things grow pretty easy here.
Well, you can
Look
see-
at the roots of the trees just
Well, and you see
form
all the
new
leaves
trees.
on the ground. This turns into compost. Makes a good soil. Feel how soft it is as you walk on it. Two people over there.
I don't know where that, I guess it goes all the way around one walkway, huh?
This is a beautiful place. There's really a special spirit that exists here. Hard to describe. As you can see, the forest is beautiful.
Okay.
Here we are in Palmyra, and Gail's panning up the street as she comes to this green building that you see across the street. This is the historic Brandon building and printing shop of, I believe his name was Egbert Grandin, who was the gentleman who the Lord prepared to help in the accomplishment of printing the Book of Mormon. This is the gentleman amidst all the pressure that was on him from local citizens not to do it that Joseph Smith came to, and with the help of Martin Harris, who raised $3,000 by
putting his land up for
mortgaging his
collateral.
home up for collateral to raise the $3,000, which was the agreed upon price for the printing of 5,000 copies of the Book of Mormon. Joseph Smith was able to get that done, and this is the building in which it took place.
Actually, in the third story, it was, didn't they say up there?
As you'll notice, this is a three-story building. Mr. Grandin was quite an industrious young man. After he had apprenticeshiped as a printer, he bought the business from the owner. He published the only paper in the area, the Wayne Sentinel, and that was the name of the paper. He did that on the lower floor of this building at first, and then later on, because of his industrious attitude, decided that he wanted to do more than just print a paper. He wanted to become a publisher, so up on the second floor he opened up a bindery and went into the publishing business, and the third floor, I forget what it was used for, but it was also as part of his business. And we were just informed by the missionary couple working at this historical site that in spring of this coming year, 1995, they're going to close this site down, the church is, and completely rebuild it, all three stories, the way that it was when Mr. Grandin completed publishing the Book of Mormon for the first time, including going back to the original foundry and having them make a replica printing press of the original, which the church owns, that is in Salt Lake, and having them restore that, and they're going to have an actual working printing press again and open this up as it was when it was originally there. As you look down the street from here, the Gail's printing now, you can see the two steeples, maybe the three steeples, the third through the trees down there on the left, but that is the historical Four Corners churches, and supposedly the only place in the United States or the world where there are four different churches, one on each corner across from an intersection that way.
And isn't it interesting that it'd be in Palmyra? where there was once a young boy who was very confused about which church to go to, right?
just lends evidence to support
the religious
things
unrest.
that Joseph Smith stated were his reasons for what happened.
Okay.
And the one thing about
Wait.
all of this...
Stop. Tell me if a car's coming.
Hey, old car's coming.
Okay, guys, scare me to death. They'll see me.
You're moving slowly, dear.
I know, because I'm filming. Here we are at Four Corners, Palmyra. There's that church. First United Methodist on that corner. In that corner we have First Baptist. And on this corner we have Episcopalian. One, two, three, four. Goes way up. This is the site of the first schoolhouse here in Palmyra, and now is the site of the cemetery that we're going to go up to, where Alvin Smith is buried. This first schoolhouse also is significant because it's where Oliver Cowdery worked. And as you can see, we're across the street from a Catholic church here, and just a half a block from the Four Corners, where I just taped where the four churches are. So what were you saying? Go.
Here we are at the Swift Graveyard, and this was the only graveyard in Palmyra at the time of Alvin Smith's death. And Alvin Smith was the older brother of Joseph Smith, who died in November 19th, 1823, when he was 25 years old. He became ill, suddenly ill, and in a 4-day period of time from the time that he took ill, he died. And nowadays they estimate, at least the guess is, that what he died of was probably appendicitis, an appendicitis attack. Gail's going to the other side, which is the original headstone that was placed here.
As you can see, it's getting very
A
worn.
little bit more difficult to read, but in conjunction with this story, after, of course, Alvin had died, Joseph Smith, having had the first vision and so forth, and translating the Book of Mormon and the golden plates, was under a great deal of persecution from people in this area who wanted to get their hands on the plates, and people who didn't like what Joseph was doing. And they were putting pressure upon the family. To give you an example of some of the pressure they were putting on, they were publishing articles in papers that they had dug up the remains of Alvin and chopped his body parts up and desecrated his gravesite.
Well, they weren't publishing things in papers.
Well,
that part's not right. He published after he did it.
Anyway, they were telling stories and spreading stories that
Rumors
had
and
taken
things,
place.
that they had come and dug up his
you
body.
can imagine how Joseph's
Heart-wrenching.
father felt, and so he couldn't take it any longer, and he, along with some of his sons, came back up and exhumed the body in the gravesite
Of his son.
to make sure that that had not taken place, and they did find his body intact in the gravesite, and he was reburied a short time thereafter, and has remained here undisturbed since that time.
Talk about playing mind games with you, though. And then Joseph Sr. went and put in the paper for everybody to know that he had in fact done this, and that's where you got the paper part of it, that he had published a statement saying that he had done that.
His son's body was intact.
And that put an end to it.
Vicious rumor.
And to put an end to it once and for all.
Put an end to it once and for all. This is the Erie Canal, which was opened right conveniently after the... There's a good shot.
Oh yeah. Sorry about that.
The Erie Canal, which was used as a main waterway and transportation, was opened at the same time, and not by coincidence, we don't believe, that Joseph Smith had finished the translation of the Book of Mormon and was looking for a way to get it published and printed.
To distribute it.
It was the opening of the Erie Canal that allowed, what was his name? Grandin, to purchase a more modern printing press that was used in the printing of the Book of Mormon and publishing, and that's how the printing press was delivered, was by bringing up the Erie Canal.
And we are headed back in towards Palmyra, looking for the Martin Harris farm. But we have about 4 maps and...
Or home, not farm.
Home, excuse me. Historic Grandin building. That's
John and Rhoda Swift.
They
Used
were
to
the
be
first
where their log
settlers here.
cabin was, right there. It's a good thing that these places aren't in.
Look at all the flags you see hanging everywhere, the American flags. Very patriotic people. It's a good thing these people weren't in wet.
These homes are not in earthquake country,
Yeah.
because they wouldn't make it. Many of these towns are the old original buildings, or at least old buildings that were built in the early 1900s that are still standing, and boy, they would shake the part. Look at over here. That's the
Village Hall.
The town hall. We're looking for Maple Street as we drive.
4 corners. Here we are again. I'll turn you off now. We've got 9 minutes left. Okay, you got 8 minutes.
This, of course, is not the original Martin Harris farmhouse. That was a frame home that was destroyed earlier by fire, but this home was rebuilt, I believe they said, in 1850 by a Mr. Chapman, who had purchased this plot of land, which was the old Martin Harris farm.
Must be a train.
And when they rebuilt it with these lake stones.
Either that or we're going to get hit.
And the lake stones were brought from as far as Lake Ontario, and some from the Erie Canal down here, which was dug to help build this home, which has been referred to as Martin Harris Farm. It was built over the original foundation of the Martin Harris home.
Why don't you tell them who Martin Harris was?
Martin Harris was a convert to the church who owned this farmland, and he mortgaged a portion of his farmland to help pay for the printing of the Book of Mormon after he became converted. The way he became converted, and you might want to show some of this land out here if you can, on this side of the house there. But
But if you want to move this way, I'm coming this
way. Martin Harris employed Joseph Smith's father and his sons as farm hands here when he had the house and the property originally. That's how he came to know the Smiths. And it was from them working on the farm here with him that he became interested in the church after Joseph Smith had had the vision and so forth. He also, after his conversion and joined the church, was one of the first scribes to the prophet Joseph Smith. For just a little while, he helped translate, or not translate, but serve as scribe as Joseph Smith began translation of the Book of Mormon. He was one of the original 3 witnesses to the Book of Mormon. And of course, it was also him who lost part of the Book of Mormon manuscript, which seems kind of strange because they don't talk about that very much down here, even at the visitor centers and so forth. But it was here that the manuscript was lost. And it was lost because his wife, Mrs. Harris, although I guess they can never prove it,
Well, he's
suspected that she did something with it.
Well,
because she allowed him to put the copy of the manuscript itself, which the prophet
She
gave
asked him if he could put it in her drawer where things were safe, and when she put them in there, and then when she went back, it was gone.
Yes, that was what happened. But they don't talk about that very much through this place any longer. But I guess it's because it wasn't the original house, and so they feel
insignificant in that way.
It's insignificant in that way. But it was built over the foundation of the original home, and this is the original plot of the Martin Harris farm.
And it's a likeness of it.
And we don't know how many acres here compose the farm.
Here's our car we're driving.
But it's about the end of the day on the Thursday, the 4th of August, and we're losing our light. It's just
As you can tell.
dark. It's overcast. It rained a little bit today, and we're going to head down. And where are we going? What's the name of that place?
Don't ask me to say it because it's kind of Nugawaga or something. Canug.
I can say it if I can see it, but I just can't picture it all.
It ends with G-U-A, Gua. Cannon.
Anyway, we're going down there probably to spend the night in a motel and to get something to eat.
All right, so we'll see you tomorrow, guys. Bye. I don't really put this on there. I just wanted to see if it would focus. See you later again. Bye.